There's a big community in the Netherlands that is often not talked about. A community with a complex history and a community that embodies the true meaning of perseverance and togetherness. And that's the Moluccan community. Join me on my journey as I learn about the history of the Moluccan people, their culture, and the plans that the next generation has to redefine what it is to be Moluccan in the Netherlands. Meet Uriël, a Moluccan filmmaker who is heavily involved in the Moluccan community and who also hosts a podcast dedicated to discussing topics related to Moluccan culture, identity, and traditions. And when I was looking to make this video, I thought he'd be the perfect person to talk to.
I mean, just to begin, like, Moluccan people, Moluccan islands, all that, can you tell me, like, where that's from?
Yeah, of course. So it starts like we have a shared history with the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Because in the period of 1600, the Dutch went to the Banda Islands to get a lot of spices.
Yeah.
For example, fully, nutmeg, and cloves.
Gotcha.
And they really want to have a monopoly on that, so they killed a lot of people, really doing genocide on the Banda Islands, only to have the monopoly of the spices. And after that, there was this colonization process. So really the Dutch embedded their Dutch culture on the Moluccan people. And the crazy part is that at a certain point, you had a lot of Moluccan people who also fought for the Dutch.
Let's pause here to go a bit deeper into that. You see, many Moluccans served as soldiers in the Royal Netherlands East Indies Army during the Dutch colonial period in what was called the Dutch East Indies. And after World War II, Indonesia emerged after seeking independence from Dutch rule, and following a violent struggle, the Dutch formally recognized Indonesian independence in 1949. However, some Moluccans, particularly those that served in the Dutch army, were loyal to the Dutch and opposed Indonesian rule. So, in 1950, some Moluccans declared an independent Republic of South Maluku, also known as RMS, which the newly formed Indonesian government rejected, leading to armed conflict. Indonesia ultimately won this conflict, and many of the Moluccan soldiers who had served in the Dutch army and their families were transported to the Netherlands in 1951 with the promise from the Dutch government that this would just be a temporary move and they would go back to Indonesia. But
the moment they arrived in the Netherlands, the Dutch said, yeah, you are not a part of like the Dutch army system. We are firing you.
Yeah.
So you don't have the status of that you are a Dutch soldier. So everyone went here with like, oh, that's weird. There was a promise made that we will stay here temporarily, but the Netherlands was like, no, you're staying here permanent. So the moment the Moluccan people arrived here, they went to Amersfoort. And from Amersfoort, they went to concentration camps. So the moment they were put there, they also were very disconnected from the Dutch society.
Yeah.
Following our conversation outside, Uriël took me across the street to the World Museum in Rotterdam, where they had an exhibition related to Moluccan history and culture. One of the items I found most interesting and that he was most proud of was this model of a monument set to be built in Rotterdam, honoring Moluccan arrival into the Netherlands.
So this is the monument that they will put soon, I hope.
Yeah.
It's called the Landelijk Moluccan Monument. So this is really a monument for all the Moluccan people in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
This monument is created by Uriël Matahelumual. He's a Moluccan artist. He really built a monument with the shape of the front of a ship, especially what they call Kora Kora. That's like a small Moluccan ship that they used for transport between a lot of islands, but also to fight. I think it's really beautiful that the Lloydkade will be recognized as a place where my grandparents came in 1951.
I'm curious if you think about stories that either people from that generation have told firsthand or stories that have been passed down, how was it for them when it came to integrating here in the Netherlands? Because as you talked about, originally the idea was that they were going to go back to the Moluccan Islands, but eventually that didn't happen. So how did that go?
It was very painful because they also didn't have contact with family members over there.
Yeah.
So they maybe sent letters, but there was not a lot of contact.
Yeah.
And it's also that promise, because Moluccan people are very loyal. So the moment you are making a promise, you don't have to use a contract to write it down. But if you make a promise oral based, then Moluccan people immediately think, okay, this is the promise, it's sealed.
Yeah.
It's a sealed deal.
Yeah.
And that really created also a lot of trauma. But now there's like a new generation, like second, third, fourth generation who is Moluccan but also Dutch, and also adapt to the Dutch culture. But there's always a kind of distance.
At this point, I learned quite a bit about Moluccan history, so I was curious now to hear from the new generation. So Uriël sent me to Til, an area known to be a Moluccan neighborhood, or as in Dutch you would say, a Moluccan wijk. And there I met with his friend Des, who started a movement called Ways from Moluccan.
Okay, I'm here with Desley, the founder of Ways from Moluccan. Really awesome guy. He's been super hospitable today, so I want to thank you so much for everything already. First thing I want to ask you is just first, how would you describe what Ways from Moluccan is? And then after that, why did you find it important to start that?
Ways from Moluccan is, it's not even a platform, it's really a movement. And it's just because we have a little bit of conflicting history in the Netherlands, but Ways from Moluccan is really about making the step forward, and especially for the young people. We are really focused specifically on young people, and to really for them to connect in the first place. We have like a slogan, as long as we connect, it will bring us to the source.
Nice.
You find with the young people that they're searching for their background, their identity, and for me it all starts with connecting. It's not only about history, but also connect initiatives that do really great stuff, from caring for nature to human rights to educational projects on the Moluccan Islands.
The Ways from Moluccan meeting happens periodically throughout the year with a focus on a specific theme related to the betterment of the Moluccan community. And for today's meeting, different groups were presenting a project centered around a sustainability initiative that they believe could be initiated on the Moluccan Islands. Now, when I was here watching these presentations, three things stood out to me. One, the people who presented were really smart, they were also really creative, and they cared deeply about their community.
How would you specifically describe Moluccan culture?
I would say because like the Western culture, like Dutch culture, is very more focused on your own, like an own person, and within our community, and you see that more in the Eastern cultures as well, is more focused as us as a community. In the Dutch culture, you'll see that people are doing their own thing, they're focused on their own, except for when there's football or like song festival, you know, then it's all, we're all Netherlands and us, except for in our community, it's always us. Like we always say with suka and duka, so in good times and bad times, we're always helping each other.
Ik ben zelf niet opgegroeid in de Molucse wijk. Mijn vader is Molucs, vrij jonge leeftijd ook buiten de Molucse wijk gaan wonen. Maar we hebben wel altijd heel veel van Molucse cultuur meegekregen uit huis. En altijd gezegd van oké, je bent Molucs, je bent Molucs. Terwijl als ik dan bijvoorbeeld met andere mensen praat, dan zeggen ze oké, maar je vader is Molucs, jij bent niet Molucs. Maar ik denk het verschil met Molukkers, ook al zit er maar 1 druppeltje bloed Molucs in je, je bent gewoon meteen Molucs. En alles is je neef, je nicht, je oom, je tante. En ik denk dat is wat Molukse cultuur zo mooi en uniek maakt.
And it is also what you then say is a community where like everyone almost knows each other. Like you go around and everyone kind of like either by face or by name, you know the people and everything.
Yeah, especially by last name, because then you know from which island they come from or which town within the island. And we also have like these traditional bands within towns. So even if you're not family, you still have like a relationship that's like family.
Gotcha.
So that's also something that's very sacred within our community and within our culture. But it is also something that unites us as well.
Something I'm also curious about is, you know, today's Sunday and you're here right now on your free time at this event, you know, with the Moluccan community. Why do you find it important to be here for such a thing?
Well, I think what Desley really explained at the beginning of the event is when a lot of people don't know how to help the people on the Moluccan Islands or what they can do with their talents to help people or, you know, find like-minded people. So I think that's important, where you can use all your talents and unite and be creative.
Ik vond het belangrijk om hier te zijn, omdat de eerste dag zat ik nog te twijfelen. Van zal ik nog verder gaan of niet. Maar toen met Des, die kwam ook steeds meer naar me toe op die dag, de eerste dag. Dacht ik van weet je, dit is wel echt een hele goede kans om meer te weten over Maluku. En het probleem ervan. En hoe we het kunnen helpen. En met mensen connecten uit Indonesië. En om die concepten aan hun te laten zien van kan jij er iets mee?
Okay, I'm now in the kitchen getting a sneak peek of the food. It smells really, really good in here. And it looks really good too. I'm gonna give you guys a little look right now before we start eating. All right, sorry to interrupt while you're eating, man, but you gotta explain to me what is on the plate. What do we have?
It's basically rice with the main ingredients. Actually, it's not traditionally Moluccan, but nowadays we eat it a lot.
Okay.
There's the noodles, bami we call it.
Lekker.
There's meat. Which is beef. It's a specific
Specific kind of beef. Yeah.
spices.
Yeah.
We're from the Spice Island, so you will notice the spices.
Nice.
And we have sayur, which is vegetables, and an egg. So it's a combination.
Oh, this is an egg here.
Yes.
Oh, lekker man, lekker.
So it's a little bit of everything for you to enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you.
No problem at all.
I'm looking forward to this.
Look, guys, honestly, the video doesn't do justice with how good this food was. Every bite and the flavor was amazing. And so I really appreciated them giving me the opportunity to try the food from their culture. And actually, a really cool story I want to tell that highlights how special this community is that for this event, there was a surplus of food, and someone within the community recently had lost a family member, and they ended up donating the extra food to support that family, to give them food to eat for the day and everything. And it was something that just happened so quickly, so without thinking. It was just, hey, someone in our community needs us. We have this extra. Let's just support them. Let's give them this food. And I just found that really special. I feel like it highlighted the tight-knit community that the Moluccan people have here in the Netherlands. Now, I still had one more special stop on my Moluccan integration journey, and that was visiting the Sama Sama Moluccan Festival in Alphen aan den Rijn.
We're at Sama Sama Festival in Alphen aan den Rijn, and it's basically a festival for all the Moluccan people in Holland. We have Moluccan bands, Moluccan acts, rappers, DJs. Yeah, basically this is a festival for us to see our relatives from far away, to share our culture, to teach the younger generations as well our culture.
Hi lieve mensen, ja, we staan hier bij de Sama Sama Festival. Helaas, onze kupingadja is helemaal uitverkocht, we zijn helemaal los. En onze spekkoek ook. We hebben alleen nog maar sponscake, hartstikke lekker. Maar misschien zien jullie weer een volgende keer. Ik ben van Mama Bongso Catering. Zoals je ziet, Mama Bongso. We maken lekkere dingen.
Kijk, mooi man, mooi. Now, that guy was super nice. Gave me this piece of cake for free. Really appreciate it. In general, just the people here, Moluccan people are just very welcoming, kind people. That's what I've experienced through all my experiences so far around the community. It's just really awesome to see. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Now, finally the rain stopped and I can really just walk around and enjoy this event completely without worrying about my camera getting wet or anything like that. But it's still, despite the rain, it's been amazing to see how much everyone's just been out here enjoying themselves, having a good time. It's a really nice vibe. Like, man, Moluccan people, you guys are really dope people, man, honestly. Okay, right now I'm here with Natalie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. The sun is shining right now. Super happy about that. Finally. I want to ask you, for you as a Moluccan person, first of all, what does it mean for you to be at this festival today?
Yeah, it means a lot to me. When I walk around and I see people, there's spark in their eyes, and just to connect with the people that come from the same, the same roots, the same country. I don't know. It's so nice to be able to still have that strong connection with each other.
Yeah, I can definitely say as an outsider, it feels like a big family reunion here or something. Like everyone just like saying hi to each other, knows each other, giving each other hugs. Like it's really beautiful, really cool to see.
Yeah.
And actually, we were talking earlier off camera, and you told me about some really awesome projects that you're working on. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. At the moment, I'm working on a really cool project. It's going to be a photo book, a photography book, where I'm honoring my cultural heritage, but at the same time also honoring my ancestors because they've been through a lot. I really want to, I want to tell our story. I want to get the healing to the community, but also the acknowledgement of our history. Yeah. But at the same time also inspiring. How do we move forward?
Yeah.
And also how can we follow our hearts? And so the title of my book is going to be Hati Rumatua. And Hati stands for the heart, and Rumatua stands for elderly home. That's also a very personal story because in 2021, I got diagnosed with lymphoma. So that's cancer, a form of cancer.
Yeah.
And the tumor was literally above my heart.
Wow.
So, and that was a kind of a wake-up call, but also was a sort of a warning. You're not living your full potential. You're not doing things that you love, you're not doing things that give you energy. And photography is one of my passions, so it was really important to take that back and to focus and to welcome photography back into my life.
Having the opportunity to speak with Natalie and hear her story was so inspiring, and to me, her story ties to the spirit of the Moluccan people in the Netherlands, a group of people who were able to turn a painful and difficult history into a close and loving community here in the Netherlands. And with that, I want to give my sincerest thanks to Uriël. Without you and all the people you connect me with, this experience wouldn't have been possible. Thank you to Desi for allowing me to attend the Ways from Molucca event and see all the special things you guys are up to. And lastly, thanks to everyone I met while making this video. I was overwhelmed with all of the love and support, and I hope to see you all again soon.